Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel where history comes alive right before your eyes. Today we're diving into one of the strangest and most unexpected disasters in history, the London beer flood of 1814. Imagine a tsunami, but not of water, of beer. This bizarre event left a mark on London that was both tragic and transformational. Stick around as we uncover how it happened, the impact it had, and the lessons we can still learn from it today. If you love bizarre historical tales, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. Let's set the scene. It's the early 19th century in London, a city teeming with life, bustling markets, and the ever-present hum of industry. Amidst this chaotic beauty stood the massive Moore and Company brewery, known for its huge beer vats capable of holding tens of thousands of gallons of beer. On October 17, 1814, the unimaginable happened. One of the brewery's enormous vats, containing over 135,000 gallons of fermenting porter, suddenly burst. The force of the rupture was so intense that it triggered other vats to burst as well, setting off a domino effect. In just moments, the brewery's walls were compromised, and a dark tide of beer burst forth into the streets. Visualize a 15-foot-high wave of dark, frothy beer crashing through the streets of London. It surged through the St. Giles neighbourhood, smashing windows, flooding homes, and knocking over everything in its path. The streets were awash with beer, causing panic and chaos among the city's residents. This flood was not a joyous occasion, it was a disaster. Homes were destroyed, livelihoods were washed away, and most tragically, lives were lost. The flood claimed at least 8 lives, including a young girl making tea at home, 3 mourners at a wake who were gathered in a basement, and several others who found themselves trapped with no means of escape. In the immediate aftermath, the community was left in shock and mourning. The sheer absurdity of a flood of beer made it difficult for many to comprehend the tragedy as real. The local parish was overwhelmed, trying to provide aid to those affected, while the city authorities struggled to understand how such an event could have occurred. The legal response was equally perplexing. When the brewery was taken to court, the disaster was ruled an act of God, absolving the brewery owners of any liability. This verdict did little to soothe the anger and grief of the victims' families, who received no compensation. It sparked a significant public debate over corporate responsibility and highlighted the inadequacies of urban safety and planning. Beyond the immediate chaos and legal controversies, the beer flood forced Londoners to rethink the relationship between industrial development and public safety. Questions were raised about the suitability of placing such large-scale industrial operations within crowded urban areas. This event gradually led to changes in building regulations and industrial storage practices. The impact of the beer flood also extended into London's brewing industry. The disaster prompted breweries across the city to re-evaluate their equipment and safety protocols. Innovations in vat construction, switching from wooden holding tanks bound by heavy iron hoops to more robust materials, were implemented to ensure such a disaster would never happen again. Moreover, the flood had a lasting impact on industrial safety regulations. It became a case study in the need for rigorous safety standards and responsible industrial growth. As a result, new laws were enacted to enhance public safety and reduce the risk of such industrial accidents. Beyond the immediate destruction and legal battles, the London beer flood left an indelible mark on the social fabric of the city. In the weeks and months that followed, newspapers and public discourse were abuzz with debates over the implications of such an event. Journalists, poets, and playwrights weighed in, turning the flood into a symbol of the perils of unchecked industrial growth. This tragedy became a narrative in popular culture, reflecting broader anxieties about the pace and direction of London's modernisation. In response to public outcry, the government and industry leaders were compelled to reconsider their approach to urban safety. One of the most significant outcomes was the re-evaluation of industrial practices across the board. Breweries, in particular, were scrutinised for their safety standards. Engineers and brewers began to collaborate more closely, leading to innovations in vat design and the materials used to construct them. Iron rings were replaced with more reliable materials that could withstand greater pressure, and the architecture of brewery buildings was improved to prevent such failures in the future. This event also sparked a movement towards better labour safety laws and industrial regulations. For the first time, the safety of workers and residents was being discussed at a national level. The flood highlighted the interconnectedness of different aspects of city life: public health, industrial regulation, urban planning, and civil engineering. It underscored the need for comprehensive urban planning that could accommodate industrial activity without compromising public safety. The cultural impact of the beer flood also extended into the arts and sciences. It influenced a generation of writers and artists who began to question the human cost of rapid industrialization. Scientific societies discussed the event as a case study in their meetings, pondering the lessons that could be learned about risk management and accident prevention. As we reflect on these discussions and reforms, it becomes clear that the London beer flood acted as a catalyst for change in multiple areas of British society. It was a tragedy that brought about a significant shift in how industrial accidents were perceived and handled, paving the way for modern safety regulations that have undoubtedly saved countless lives since. Today, the legacy of the beer flood serves as a stark reminder of the potential consequences of industrial negligence and the importance of safety in urban planning. It's a vivid example of how from great tragedy can come transformative change, shaping policies and practices that protect us to this day. Thank you for joining me on this historical deep dive. What did you think of today's story? Could you imagine being caught in a beer tsunami? Let us know in the comments below. And remember, for more tales from the past and insights into how they shape our world, subscribe and turn on notifications. See you next time.